MLB.com's Brittany Ghiroli covers the Orioles on a regular basis. Give us a little update, Britt, on Darren ODay right now. What's the latest status on him coming back?
Well, not really that great, Tom. Obviously, a big part of their bullpen moving forward, but a guy who's still dealing with pain, he said, in his right shoulder. So until they get rid of that pain, they're going to really move slowly, really move cautiously, hope that Darren ODay can be a big part of what they do down the stretch in September. ODay obviously a little frustrated. He's not sure if this maybe is a result of coming back too soon from that hamstring injury. He is a little frustrated, however, because when he initially felt something in Oakland, he pushed through, ended up pitching again. He's a veteran guy. He knows better. But he said as a relief pitcher, really as any kind of baseball player, Tom, you're used to pushing through soreness. This was just not good soreness, and really now they're dealing with him taking a big step back, hitting the DL again.
How about some of the other injured players? When you look back at, TJ McFarland's not here right now. You've got the situation with Joey Rickard. How about some of them? Do you think they'll be back soon?
Hopefully. I know McFarland didn't pitch very well in his first outing. They were a little disappointed about that. But then when you look at Joey Rickard, another 2 to 3 weeks in that splint, it's really unfortunate because his thumb wasn't broken, didn't need surgery, but it's probably going to take just as long as if he had gotten it operated on. So no baseball activities until he gets that splint out. They're hoping he can be some kind of September call-up, although it won't be September 1st. It's really unfortunate because he adds such a different element to this team right now that they're missing, and they really need that versatility.
Now, Brett, when you look back at the Orioles overall, today came up in the press conference with Buck Showalter about maybe the team's lack of speed. I mean, when you hit home runs, maybe you don't need speed.
Yes, exactly. They'd rather jog around the bases and hit it out of the ballpark,
right.
But hasn't really been good for them at all, Tom. Let's take a look at some of those numbers for the Orioles. As you can see, 23 stolen base attempts this season. They're on historic pace right now. You've got to go back pretty far to even get in the conversation. The Kansas City Athletics in 1960, 27 attempts. Most recently, the Tigers, perhaps 38. Perhaps they can get past that if Joey Rickard comes up. I'm not really sure, but really an elite group and nothing really recently. And you look at this lineup, it's hard to have a whole lot of complaints about this lineup, Tom, because they hit so many home runs, but they really are missing that element. And manager Buck Showalter didn't have an issue with it today because they're only 50%. So you don't want to give away outs. You don't want to have guys run to run. You don't want to tell Adam Jones and Chris Davis and Mark Trumbo to run wild. But I think, especially in September when the games change with the expanded rosters, you really need a guy on your roster who can pinch run, who can add a little bit of a different element than what they have now.
Now, the Orioles have only one stolen base in the last 29 games. I mean,
I know. Me and you could combine and maybe get one, don't you think?
Yeah, you'd have to take the back end of the race to second base. But how about the possibility of the Orioles coming up with somebody with some speed, maybe in September when the rosters swell out a little bit?
I think they have to. Julio Borbon is a good name. Defense, speed. He's a guy that, while they wait for Joey Rickard, maybe they can add him. And then there's the possibility that they go outside the organization. You look at teams that are faltering and maybe they decide, hey, let's pick up a guy that just has speed. It's been done before. You can do that with the expanded rosters. They really don't need complete players. They just need a left-handed reliever, a guy to get lefties out. They just need guys who hit left-handed pitching well. They can really pick and choose once they get to September 1st because they don't have to designate 25 guys. They can have all these guys up, all these guys in the dugout, each one of them serve a purpose and really do what they've been so good at, which is winning every game, focusing on what they have to do that day to win that game, no matter how many roster moves it takes. It's really been their mantra, and I think that's what they're going to continue to do moving forward.
Britt, we always enjoy your inside look at the Orioles. Brittany Ghiroli, you can read her on MLB.com.